legislation. While more ambitious proposals to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines never had a chance of getting 60 votes in the Senate, Democrats hope to at least unify their caucus behind the background checks legislation passed by the House last year. But Manchin on Tuesday said his old proposal, negotiated with retiring GOP Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, that could expand background checks for commercial transactions, is the best option. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Shares of Target are plunging this morning after the retailer reported that higher costs have eaten into its bottom line. Again, on Wall Street, Dow futures down 246. More on these stories, townhall.com.
We are 5 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Wednesday morning under cloudy skies in Clinton. It's 68 degrees here this morning.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Showers and storms into the early evening tonight. Temperatures in the mid-70s. A south wind shifts from the west in the afternoon at 15 to 25 miles per hour. New rain today between less than a tenth of an inch, though higher amounts where we see thunderstorms. A slight chance of showers in the overnight tonight. Partly cloudy otherwise. Lows in the upper 50s. Thursday, sunny with a high in the mid-80s, a south wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear and a low of 70, a south wind at 15 to 25 miles per hour. A 30% chance of an afternoon shower on Friday, otherwise sunny and breezy. Highs in the upper 80s, showers, even a storm Friday night, lows of 60, showers likely on Saturday between a quarter and a half an inch, temperatures in the upper 60s, and Sunday, sunny with highs in the mid 60s. Across central Illinois on this Wednesday morning under cloudy skies with some light showers rolling through central Illinois, 67 in Bloomington, 66 in Hayworth, 62 in Leroy, 63 in Farmer City, 63 in Champaign, 66 in Monticello, 66 in Decatur, 67 in Mount Pulaski and Lincoln, 66 in Springfield this morning, 67 in Peoria. 68 overcast in Clinton. South winds are calm, 75% humidity, 10 miles of visibility on this Wednesday morning. Weather anytime is at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Clinton High School will present diplomas to their graduating seniors during their traditional graduation ceremony at the high school gym on Sunday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. WHOW's many platforms, on air at 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com. On the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa will broadcast this special event live. Tune in and listen as the names of this year's Clinton High School graduating seniors are read and their diplomas are given out. Brought to you by Keith Wade, Country Financial, located at 613 West Van Buren in Clinton. All your insurance needs under one roof. And Clatonia Eagle Theater, located at 13 Kelly Court in Clinton. Movies add the magic, we add the fun.
It's time to play Trump or Consequences. Ready, Jill?
Let's go.
Thinking about Mary Miller and Rodney Davis in the race for Congress, who did President Donald Trump praise for fighting Joe Biden's, quote, runaway inflation?
Mary Miller, gotta be. Miller knows Biden is out of control.
Right, Jill. Next, who did Trump endorse for Congress?
Mary Miller. I know Trump backs Miller.
Correct. Miller has Trump's complete and total endorsement. Last question. Who is one of the very few Republicans in Congress to actually praise Joe Biden?
Who did that?
Rodney Davis.
So why would a Republican back Davis?
Good question. Because if you stand with Trump, Mary Miller is the right answer for Congress. Paid for by Club for Growth Action, clubforgrowthaction.org, and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
It's 8 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Wednesday morning under cloudy skies, 68 degrees in Clinton.
From regional radio, DeWittDailyNews.com and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Coverage of the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. It's National Police Week, and this week we've heard from local law enforcement officials on this National Police Week. And today, a Piatt County law enforcement official is weighing in on the week of recognition. Piatt County Sheriff Mark Vogelzang says the last month has allowed him to highlight those that make up the first responders community. In early April, it was Telecommunicators Week. In late April, administrative professionals were recognized, and earlier this month, corrections officers were honored. Assaults on police officers in just the last few years have exponentially increased, and Sheriff Vogelzang believes there has been a rapid shift away from respecting authority, and unfortunately, police and first responders are among those that are experiencing the consequences.
Yes, you're correct. The assaults on officers have increased. Last year in Illinois alone, we had 10 officers that were killed in the line of duty.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I think, a lot of different reasons for it. I think the breakdown of the family structure, and it's not just towards police officers. I've been in the schools where the lack of respect for teachers is very prevalent as well. So they have a very tough job. But whether it's just a decrease in our value system, that's just it. I mean, we see, maybe 30, 40 years ago, you'd have fist fights, but now it's the younger generation that's not afraid to drive around with a handgun to fire off rounds or, actually fire them at people. It's just a lack of respect for life.
Sheriff Vogelzang sees a couple of opportunities to rectify the situation. He believes a short-term solution is to hold criminals accountable for their actions, but in the long term, there needs to be an emphasis on restoring the family structure.
I think there's, you have to look at both short-term and long-term solutions. I think short-term is holding people accountable. Those that are out there violating and breaking the laws and victimizing good people need to be held accountable. If they're out there committing these crimes, they have to do the time. They have to be sentenced and have those consequences built in. But then looking at long-term, what programs can we put in place to rebuild that family structure, those core values, to help get our very young population to respect law enforcement and our teachers and the rule of law as a whole.
Sheriff Vogelzang indicates this National Police Week hits close to home, particularly because of last year's tragic death of Officer Chris Oberheim in Champaign. Officer Oberheim and Sheriff Vogelzang shared residency in Monticello and worked together on the Champaign police force. Have you embarked on a weight loss journey and lost an initial 10 to 20 pounds but can't seem to lose more? It's a pretty common challenge for a lot of people. Dr. Jim Lavelle is the author of Cracking the Metabolic Code and the clinical director of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Performance Health Program. He says you'll want to start counting calories. He believes you might be just surprised at how many calories you're taking in.
I think that it varies. One, it varies on how old you are. The older you are, typically, the little bit harder it is to lose some weight because, your metabolism does somewhat slow down. When I'm talking about your metabolism, I want to be clear that it's more than just how many calories you're burning. It's how much metabolic inflammation's in your body that's making you resist that ability to get to that fat. And the first step is, of course, is that you cut your calories down, or you change the kind of calories you eat, right? Go to more lean proteins, go to more plant foods.
Things like a decrease in testosterone for men or hormonal changes in women can often lead to weight gain. Dr. Lavelle says stress in everyone can also prompt weight gain. Coverage of the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Clinton High School will present diplomas to their graduating seniors during their traditional graduation ceremony at the high school gym on Sunday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. WHOW's many platforms, on air at 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com. on the WHOW mobile app, and Amazon Alexa will broadcast this special event live. Tune in and listen as the names of this year's Clinton High School graduating seniors are read and their diplomas are given out. Brought to you by DeWitt Savings Bank, located at 302 West Main in Clinton, your hometown community bank. And Clinton Antique Mall, located at 54 and 51 West in Clinton. Good luck and congratulations to the 2022 graduates.
Time now for a look at local sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. In a game heard here on WHOW Tuesday afternoon, the Clinton Lady Maroons fell to Maroa-Forsyth 4-0 in Class 2A regional semifinal action from Illinois Wesleyan University. The Trojans managed 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning and 2 more in the bottom of the third. Clinton managed just 2 hits in the game. Both came with 2 outs. At the top of the 6th, a 2-out walk loaded the bases, but a fly out to right field ended the threat. Trojan senior Marina Roman pitched a gem, striking out 10, walking 1 in a 2-hit shutout. Megan Holub went 3 for 4 for the Lady Trojans with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. Tori Thomas was 2 for 3 with a triple, a double, and 3 RBIs. Clinton's Ashley Armstrong pitched well, but took the loss. The junior allowed 4 runs on 10 hits with a strikeout and no walks. Freshman Mia Kevlahan broke up a no-hit bid in the 6th inning to earn the WHOW Serve Pro of Piatt DeWitt County Player of the Game. Sophomore Brooke Reeves also went 1 for 3 for the Lady Maroons. Clinton finishes the season, at 4-20 overall. Maroa-Forsyth goes to 25-8 on the season and advances to Friday's regional championship against Normal U-High. The Pioneers beat Tri-Valley 4-2 on Tuesday. Scores in Class 2A regional softball semifinal action from Tuesday. It was Tremont blanking El Paso Gridley 10-0. IVC blanked Eureka 7-0. BCC edged Pana 3-2. Normal U-High doubled up Tri-Valley, as mentioned, 4-2. It was Pontiac over Prairie Central 12-0. Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin got by Auburn 5-1. It was Paris over St. Joe Ogden 5-2. Tolona Unity blanked Sullivan 8-0. Olympia down New Berlin 16-2. In Class 1A regional softball semifinal action from Tuesday, Leroy toppled Champaign St. Thomas More 15-0. Blue Ridge outlasted Watseka 10-8. It was Fisher over Milford 7-4. Tuscola blanked Decatur St. Teresa 14-0. Argenta Oriena got by Arcola 8-7. Meridian blank Salt Fork 10-0, and Villa Grove beat Georgetown Ridge Farm 14-4. Jose Abreu hit a 2-run double in a 3-run 5th inning. Dylan Cease pitched scoreless ball into the 6th, and the White Sox beat the Royals 3-0 in the first game of a doubleheader on Tuesday. Cease wrangled out of trouble throughout, allowing runners in every inning, but gave up 7 hits in 5 2/3 innings with 9 strikeouts, several in clutch situations. The Royals struck out 14 times and went 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, stranding 12 runners. They have lost 7 of 10. Kansas City's Sal Perez left the game in the 7th with a left thumb sprain. 4 relievers followed Cease, with Liam Hendricks working the 9th for his 11th save in 14 opportunities. Jonathan Heasley pitched around trouble until his final inning in the 5th. Reese McGuire led off with a double. Heasley loaded the bases with a walk and hit a batter. A.J. Pollock lined out to left to score McGuire. With 2 outs, Abreu doubled to the wall in center to make it 3-0. Kansas City's Hunter Dozier was thrown out at the plate to end the 4th. He led off with a single and was still on first with 2 outs when Kyle Isbell looped a single to left center. Dozier slowed as he approached 3rd and then bolted toward the plate. He was out by several steps. The Royals loaded the bases in the 7th with nobody out against Joe Kelly, who then struck out Carlos Santana, pinch hitting for Perez. Ryan O'Hearn. Dozier popped out to end the inning. Brady Singer outdueled Davis Martin as the Royals beat the Sox 2-1 in the nightcap of Tuesday's doubleheader. Singer had his best outing since last September when he threw 7 shutout innings against the Sox. He struck out a career-high 9, not walking anyone. He allowed just 4 hits in 7 innings. Singer was added to the roster as the 27th man for the doubleheader, but it was much bigger than a spot start. Davis Martin made his debut and was equally impressive. He allowed just a run on 5 hits in 5 innings, walking 1 and striking out 7. The Royals finally capitalized in the second inning after going 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position in the first game. Emmanuel Rivera led off the inning with a double and scored on Michael A. Taylor's double into left field. The Royals got another run in the 6th on M.J. Melendez's first career home run, a 425-foot blast to right center. The Sox got a run in the 8th, but at left fielder Andrew Benintendi threw out Josh Harrison as he tried to score from second on a single. The Sox and Royals will play the 4th game of the 5-game set. The Sox go to Vince Velasquez opposite Zach Greinke for KC. Jeff McNeil and Dom Smith helped the Mets chip away at Miles Michaelis. Trevor Williams was sharp in a spot start as the Mets beat the Cardinals 3-1 Tuesday in the opener of a doubleheader. McNeil and Smith each had 2 hits, including an RBI double apiece in the 3rd. McNeil also narrowly missed a home run during a 12-pitch at bat against Michaelis in the 1st, and Smith singled to score a run on a ground out in the 2nd. Michaelis entered with a 1.49 ERA, but allowed a season-high 3 runs, 2 earned over 6 innings. The 33-year-old matched the season high with 7 hits allowed and threw a season-high 106 pitches. Paul Goldschmidt homered for St. Louis, who opened a 7-game trip with its first doubleheader this season. St. Louis put runners on against Edwin Diaz in the 9th, but the Mets closer struck out Harrison Bader swinging to secure his 9th save. New York, coming off its first series loss against Seattle, has won 12 straight games following a defeat. It was the first meeting between the teams since a benches-clearing scuffle in St. Louis on April 27th after 4 Mets were plunked in the series. New York reliever Yohan Lopez threw a pitch near Nolan Arenado's head that sparked the melee. Major League Baseball suspended Arenado 2 games, and Cardinals reliever Genesis Cabrera 1 for their roles in the dust-up. Arenado has appealed his ban, but has not served any punishment yet. Arenado was booed throughout Tuesday by Mets fans and went 0 for 4. Cabrera did not pitch in the opener. Williams threw 4 scoreless innings in a spot start for the injured Tyler McGill. The right-hander struck out 6 and allowed 4 hits to no walks on 65 pitches. Jake Reed walked 2 of his first 3 hitters, but followed Williams with 2 scoreless innings in his 2022 debut. Seth Lugo was perfect in the 7th, and Drew Smith allowed Goldschmidt's homer in the 8th. Tyler O'Neill redeemed himself after setting a Cardinals record for a doubleheader with 6 strikeouts as he beat out a go-ahead infield single, and the Cardinals beat the Mets 4-3 Tuesday night to split the twin bill. After New York tied the game in the 8th, St. Louis drew 2 walks against Joely Rodriguez in the 9th. Pinch hitter Nolan Arenado struck out against ex-Rockies teammate Adam Ottavino for the second out, but O'Neill connected on an awkward half swing for a weak roller against Ottavino. Sure-handed third baseman Eduardo Escobar charged hard, but double-clutched at the ball, allowing O'Neill among baseball's fastest runners to reach first base, with Brendan Donovan scoring from third, a season after hitting 34 home runs and finishing 8th in the NL MVP voting. O'Neill is off to a miserable start, entering Tuesday's action just hitting a .93 with 2 homers and a .561 OPS. The coaching staff asked him to take Sunday and Monday off, but the rest hardly seemed to help. He finished the day 2 for 9 with 6 strikeouts, the most ever by a Cardinals player in a doubleheader, according to SNY. The 2-time Gold Glove winning left fielder also let a foul pop-up drop in front of him during New York's 8th inning rally in Game 2, his second misplay of the day on a ball in that area. Yovani Gallegos allowed 1-out singles to Dom Smith and Luis Guillorme in the 9th, but struck out Mark Canha and Francisco Lindor for his 7th save. Paul Goldschmidt had 3 hits in the nightcap as St. Louis played its first doubleheader this year. He also homered in the opener. Mark Canna and Eduardo Escobar gave New York early leads with solo homers in Game 2, but St. Louis erased those with Goldschmidt's first RBI double and a Tommy Edman RBI triple. Goldschmidt made it 3-2 with another double in the 5th against Mets starter Taijuan Walker, who gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. Michaelis again entered with a 1.49 ERA in the first game. Jordan Hicks goes opposite Max Scherzer in the 3rd game of the 4-game set tonight. Keegan Thompson combined with 3 relievers on a 5-hitter as the Chicago Cubs shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates for the 2nd straight game in a 7-0 win Tuesday night that extended their winning streak to a season-best 4 games. Jonathan Villar hit a go-ahead solo homer in the 3rd and added an RBI single. Cubs starters have posted a 2.37 ERA in their last 8 games, and Chicago is 6-2 in that stretch. Thompson has added to the success. He allowed 4 hits, 4 walks in 5 innings, striking out 5 in his 2nd start this season. The right-hander pressed into the rotation last week, lowered his ERA to 1.41. Pittsburgh has 1 run in its last 30 innings and has not scored since the 8th inning Sunday when the Pirates beat Cincinnati 1-0 despite not getting any hits. The Pirates had 5 hits Tuesday and have just 9 in 3 games, dropping their batting average to .223. The shutout was the 5th against the Pirates this season. Pinch hitter Christopher Morel homered in the 9th in his first big league at-bat, connecting on a full-count fastball from Chase DeYoung to become the first Cubs player to go deep in his first at-bat since Wilson Contreras did it on June 19th. In 2016, Morel told Contreras earlier in the game he planned to homer in his first plate appearance. After falling behind 0-2, he battled back in the count and cracked a deep drive to left. Cubs reliever Daniel Norris left after 1 out in the 6th because of right Achilles soreness. Brandon Hughes, a 26-year-old lefty, made his big league debut and recorded his first 5 outs via strikeout. He walked 1. Mark Leiter Jr. allowed a hit in the final 2 innings. JT Brubaker gave up 6 runs, 4 were earned, and 6 hits in 6 innings while striking out a career-high 10. Rookie Saya Suzuki doubled in 2 runs to spark a 5-run 4th inning, and Frank Schwindel had an RBI double on a chilly, drizzly night as Chicago improved to 6-11 at Wrigley Field. Port Lee Pittsburgh DH Daniel Vogelbach, listed at 6 foot, 270 pounds, chugged out the first triple in his 7-year big league career with 1 out in the 4th. He lofted a drive to the bend in Wrigley's left field wall where Ian Happ jumped but could not make the catch. The ball caromed to the left field corner, giving Vogelbach time to rumble into 3rd. The next hitter, Yoshi Tsutsuko, lifted a fly ball down the right field line that was caught by Suzuki. Vogelbach tried to score but was thrown out and did not even reach the plate on his slide. Contreras gave Vogelbach what appeared to be a playful pat, but the two started jawing and both benches emptied. The confrontation was short-lived and players went back to their dugouts and the bullpens. Drew Smiley starts today's series finale. The Pirates have not announced a starter. Josh Manson scored his first career playoff goal 8 minutes and 2 seconds into overtime. Darcy Kemper had 23 saves in his return to the net from an eye injury as the Avalanche beat the Blues 3-2 Tuesday night in Game 1 of the second round NHL playoff series. The play was set up by Captain Gabriel Landeskog, who was down low and dished the puck out to Manson. From there, the defenseman sent a liner through a sea of players that went in just over the shoulder of Jordan Binnington. Valerie Nishkashin and Samuel Girard also scored for the Avs, a team that had a week-long layoff after sweeping Nashville. It showed early on before they found their stride. They outshot the Blues by a 54-25 margin, including 13 shots to none in the overtime. The Avalanche also had 3 post hits and 2 crossbar hits. Ryan O'Reilly had a first period goal. Jordan Cairo tied it late for St. Louis. Bennington kept the Blues close with one sprawling save after another. He stopped 51 shots to become the fourth different goaltender in Blues history to record 50 or more saves in a postseason game, according to NHL Stats. Game 2 is Thursday. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Come to the unveiling of the Prairie Flyers exhibit at the C.H. Moore Museum and Homestead in Clinton on Saturday, May 28th. The exhibit, located at the Carriage Barn, will highlight the stories of aviation in DeWitt County. The museum has asked for artifacts and stories from DeWitt County residents, and they've delivered, with them being unveiled on May 28th. There'll be special activities for kids and adults that day to kick off the exhibit, which will be on display until July 3rd. Join the C.H. Moore Museum and Homestead in Clinton as they celebrate the Prairie Flyers, a century of aviation in DeWitt County, starting Saturday, May 28th.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. A very tight GOP Senate primary is going into overtime in Pennsylvania. The race still too close to call, with David McCormick trailing Dr. Mehmet Oz, who was endorsed by former President Trump. Standoff at the Mariupol steelworks in Ukraine finally over. Russia says that close to 1,000 Ukrainian troops have given themselves up. Ukrainian officials say the fighters were encouraged to spare their lives by giving in to the Russians after holding out at the steel plant for weeks. Pushed into the arms of NATO by Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, Finland and Sweden, both countries now formally applying for membership in the NATO military alliance. The opening bell just sounding on Wall Street, key averages starting off the day in the red. More details at srnnews.com.
Our special 2022 planning reports on WHOW are powered by the 2022 Chevy Silverado, sponsored by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton. Also brought to you by Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton, Mancy Metal in Mount Zion,